Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am doing my weekly update stream a little bit early today because I am attending a live event. I am out of town and traveling still, but you know what? I still wanted to bring you the show, so we are doing it live from the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. So just bear with me. I am doing this from a laptop, and I'm doing this with gear that is not my normal equipment. So please just be patient with me and we will get right to it, guys. But you can start by checking out, oh, what happened? Why is the article See, this is what happens when you do it live, folks. Let me just double check to make sure the rest of the show is going to be calibrated correctly. Bear with me just a second. Okay, well, at least those are going to be right. So this is the first story. I don't know why the profile pulled up kind of weird, but let's see if we can do that again. It's still probably going to be weird. Yeah, it's still weird. That's interesting. Anyways, guys, check out the profile. You see links in there to my website, patriotdad.org. That is my Linktree replacement built by Siraj himself. That has all the links, the different ways that you can support me and this channel so that I can bring you guys more additional content in the future. So please make sure that you just go there. You can also join the Patriot Dad family. Just yesterday, I kicked off a 90-day calisthenics challenge. So we have a 3-month calisthenics workout challenge that we're going to be completing as a community. So if you want to join us, make sure you check that out. We are up to 22 members, so thank you very much for those of you that are joining. And if you see me looking off the screen, guys, I have my laptop down on the table, so I might be borderline autistic, but still I'm breaking eye contact for the laptop screen. So the first story we have under immigration, guys, is that ICE is cracking down on illegal alien truck drivers. You can see here in this video.
You too, sir. Thank you. Yep. This morning, ISIS is over here cracking everybody now.
They're here checking. You see the guy there handing over his passport. They're not messing around anymore, guys. These illegal alien truck drivers are a menace. They are not good for the country. And yeah, it's good to see. Shell in the chat, thank you very much for showing up. Says, I am here. Good to see you. Thank you very much, Shell. Also, that you are starting tomorrow. Yes, thank you. So Shell is a member of the Patriot Dad family community, guys. If you want to join us with our 90-day calisthenics challenge, then you can absolutely join us. Post your progress updates as we will be doing, and it will be a lot of fun. Last time we did a 5-day water fast. That was also a lot of fun. So yeah, we just do things, try to improve our health and make our overall community better, guys. So go ahead and check that out. Again, the Patriot Dad family community. You also see here, posted by Commander at Large, Mr. Bavino, says, if you think we're done in Chicago, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't call it a comeback. We're going to be here for years. Now, I will bring this one back up because there is a video associated with it, but that video does have some music on it that I cannot play on YouTube. So we will bring that up again in our post-YouTube section, and we will watch and listen to that video because I'm sure it's a lot of fun. Pretty much all of those promotion/informational videos put out by the administration at this point are just amazing and fun to watch. Oh, need coffee, guys. It's been a crazy week. You got here also Matt Van Swall, last story in immigration, that it's been revealed that Lakeisha Alston, the woman running for election as a Republican in North Carolina, guys, we've seen this kind of infiltration in primaries in states for years, but this is a very blatant and obvious one, kind of like I think there was a transvestite or a transgender that ran for a Republican seat, and that was a few years ago. Now we're having this woman in a full hijab, I believe that's called. I don't really, in a headdressing for and full hijab. It's actually a lifelong Democrat. According to a public voting record, she's been voting Democrat since 2008, and now she's running as a Republican. So good job, everybody. You know, that's not going to be a problem, I'm sure. Right? No fraud. No issues, right? Well, we're going to get into crime, guys. These stories on crime, we've covered some of it. I have a standalone video you can find on the channel, and if You want to throw a link to that in the chat, I would appreciate it, Shell. If not, I understand you're probably busy. But there is a video I put out this week as well from my travels that is about that migrant fraud. So go ahead and check that out as well. But see here, it's just getting worse by the minute. This posted by Leah Rain. Feds covered up Ohio adoption hub who sold children to Somali sex gangs. It's not just daycare. It's not just medical care. It's not just anything, guys. It's human trafficking. It's sex trafficking. It's sex trafficking of minors. It's so much crap that we really need to do something about this. There needs to be a level of accountability, and I'm not certain that I have any confidence in the government to hold itself accountable at all. Are you confident in that? I'm not. I don't trust them. That you're asking the people who are doing the crime to pass laws that would make their crime illegal. To hold themselves accountable. They have no incentive, guys. We need to apply pressure ourselves. Because if you're sitting around thinking that these legislators and these government officials are just going to hold themselves accountable, you're kidding yourself. We see here a story by Liberty for All. Jacob Fry's wife, Sarah Clark, was the government liaison for the biggest lobbying firm in Minnesota, run by Nancy Heilden, Heilden Advocacy and Law. She's a vocal supporter and friend of Tim Walz and Keith Ellison. We'll see those names a couple more times today. In 2016, a tiny new nonprofit called Feeding Our Future was formed to sponsor sites participating in federal child nutrition programs distributing aid. The attorney who represented the tiny new nonprofit was none other than the powerful lobbyist and Tim's friend, Nancy Heilden. While Nancy Heilden was the state's most powerful lobbyist with close ties to the governor and the attorneys general and the Minneapolis mayor, involved in setting up the 501c3 status. So why were these very high-ranking and very powerful people taking part in constructing this 501c3? Why do you think? What is your opinion? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Very powerful lobbyists and government officials, why are they involved in a tiny new startup, 501c3? Oh, good. It looks like Rumble's not streaming. Hang on a second. Just bear with me. Just 1 second. I will be right back. So just bear with me 1 second, please. All right, well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to fix that while we're streaming. So sorry, Rumble, you're not going to get this stream. That is just the way it is. Doing it live, folks. Yeah, my opinion is these very powerful people were used to set up some of these things, these mechanisms that were utilized to then funnel money to the Democrat Party, their friends, themselves, and others. So I'm not surprised at all that very powerful people were used to set up something that sounds great, guys. Feeding people, that sounds like a wonderful, very good thing to do. They always name their charities and their schemes after things that just, so they can argue just on the face of it, like, oh my God, Republicans are against feeding the children. Republicans are against feeding the future. Republicans are against feeding people. They want you to starve to death. Meanwhile, actual communists let people starve to death. It's kind of wild, guys, when you really look at the way things operate. It really is. It's so in your face the way that they might as well name these charities like not fraudulent. Like that's just the whole name of the charity is not fraud. What do you guys think? Do you think you would believe them then? I sure as hell wouldn't. But this one, guys, Amy Bach, ringleader of Feeding Our Future. Oh, this sounds like the thing we just talked about. COVID fraud scheme is listed as the contact for at least 47 taxpayer-funded child cares in Minnesota, according to the official state database. So the ringleader of the Feeding Our Future 501c3 that we just talked about, one of the ladies involved in that is the contact for 47 of these daycares in Minnesota. Nothing to see here, guys, right? Nothing? Anybody see anything wrong? Guys, it is so in our face. It almost seems like it's done intentionally to upset people, to trigger division, to make people ask bigger questions. I really don't like it. Also, why? I just noticed, why is the date? Oh, come on. Man, I really did this live. The date on my stream on X, I apologize, folks. It is saying it is from the 27th. My stream going to YouTube is right. My stream setup for Rumble went right, but somehow Streamlabs OBS fucked up updating the name for X. Wonderful. That's my fault for not catching it, folks. I apologize. But here you got Kristen Mag reporting there are 539 child care centers in Washington state. So now we've gone to Minnesota, gone to Ohio. We've seen now Washington state. 539 centers list Somali as the primary language, and most don't even give a street address. I don't know how many of these are submitting fraudulent claims for state grants and subsidies, but I have a strong hunch that the number is not 0. It's probably a pretty good guess. Like, of the couple of 100,000 Somalis that are now in the United States, how many of them are actually operating a daycare center legitimately? How are there so many Somali language daycare centers across the country, guys? Especially for most of them that don't even work. Many of these women are working minimum wage jobs. Many of them are living multiple women to a home because they believe in polygamy. Guys, as a taxpayer, as a veteran, as a citizen, as somebody who struggles to make ends meet on a regular basis, guys, somebody who is not doing very well financially, who is very blessed when it comes to my family, but financially when I'm struggling month to month, and then I see stuff like this, it's so blatant, so in your face, just theft, fraud, election stealing, like just in your face. And then look at this spokesperson that they put out front is wearing $2,200 eyeglasses. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want these anyway. Like, I think my shoes were like 15 bucks. I think my jeans are the most expensive thing I'm wearing right now, and they were probably like 75 bucks. $2,200 eyeglasses? Okay, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I have a watch. My Seiko Kinetic, when it first came out, this watch was, I think I got it on, I think I negotiated it down to about $400 when I first bought it. Guys, $2,200 eyeglasses, and this person's trying to come tell us that there's not fraud. But then we have representatives coming forward like this gentleman. What do you think? That's confirmed that AG Keith Ellison personally met with Somalis and fraudsters to accept campaign donations.
Recently released audio recordings reveal conversations that happened between the Attorney General and individuals who were later implicated and in some cases convicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal.
Also, I just noticed, I apologize for the delay. I don't have two screens to work from right now. Shell says this stuff is maddening. Yes, it is. Karen, hey, PD. Hi, Karen. Good to see you in the chat as always. I know I'm streaming at a very weird time. I apologize for that. I am at the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm doing this from the road, so I appreciate your patience and your understanding with my off normal time stream, but very good to see you all in the chat. We're going to continue with this video, guys. Let's hear how much more infuriating can it get? Well, you're going to be a little more mad by the end of these next two segments, I promise.
In those recordings, the Attorney General...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
State your point of order.
Masons 124, paragraph 1. In debate, members must confine remarks to questions before the body and avoid personalities. The debate here is not any individual. It is the policy and the amendment.
Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Attorney General was asked in those recordings to use his authority to protect businesses under investigation for wrongdoing, and rather than distance himself or remain neutral to allow the legal process to unfold, he responded in those recordings, "Of course, I'm here to help."
Mr. Speaker, point of priority.
So they're going to keep defending the actions by using administrative process to try and say, you can't talk about an individual, you can only talk about policy. This person is the attorneys general for the state, directly communicating about concerns with crimes that are occurring, and they're trying to argue that you can't talk about the attorneys general on the floor. That's crazy.
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, there was a point of order, and I didn't hear a ruling or any resolution of the point of order. Was there a resolution to it?
Oh, God, get these Lindas out of Congress and legislators, please. Legislatures are no place. No place for Lindas, guys.
I'll remind the body that there was no ruling made by the Speaker as to the point of order that was just stated. Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Basically, Linda, shut up, sit down. We didn't answer it, and we did that on purpose, so please sit down.
Speaker. The Attorney General in those recordings even urged the individuals, let's go fight these people. He was offered campaign contributions during that meeting, contributions that he later accepted. The release of those audio recordings raises questions about what's going on in the Attorney General's office that go directly to the need to pass the legislation that we had previously debated, House File 20. Although he has insisted that nothing came of the meeting, his office blocks disclosure of closed investigative
State your point
data.
of order.
More process, guys. So this is going to continue. It's going to continue on for a very long time. They're going to continue to try and use the process to just be abusive, to try and get you to shut up. Don't shut up, guys. Don't stop talking about this. Shout it. Call your legislators. Call whoever. Post at them here on X. Do whatever you need to do, guys. Do whatever you need to do. Also, Karen, I appreciate you being over there on X. The stream, for whatever reason, is named under the wrong date, so thank you for clicking on it anyway. I'm very glad you found it as well. But yeah, guys, more news here from Jack. FBI Director Kash Patel reveals that the Biden administration intentionally buried Minnesota fraud probes to protect Biden-connected allies. Now, who would that be? Oh, maybe that's Keith Ellison. Maybe that's other officials like Tim Walz. Maybe that's, who knows, right? But the fact that the prior president and their administration was involved in covering up to protect allies, I would call them enemies of the state, personally. But the fact that the president's office was obstructing, see what I'm doing there? It's crazy, guys. It's absolutely crazy. There needs to be some level of accountability. If we're not going to get accountability, guys, we're going to force it. If the legal process won't provide relief, somebody, and I'm not saying that they should do it, I'm not calling for it, I'm not supporting it, but somebody is going to take it upon themselves, or a group of people are going to take it upon themselves to act. Because the confidence in the legal process is disappearing. That's reflected right here in this meme. That's why I put it here in the show instead of back with the other memes, guys. This is the overall mood of the country. It's the old Chris Farley yelling, but it's for the love of God, arrest somebody. And then we're going to get into it here shortly, but who did they arrest? This morning at 2 a.m., while I was upstairs with a very, very great group of guys, it was 25 of us, our mastermind leader, as well as some other folks. It's publicly posted, so I can talk about it. But yeah, guys, we were having great discussions about business, about finance, about many other things important to our futures. But then we take a break and we find out that we've now attacked, destroyed pretty much, and now arrested Maduro and his wife, brought them to New York to try them at the Southern District of New York. So SDNY is now prosecuting Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela. We went to Venezuela and snatched the leader of Venezuela and his wife and brought them back for charges before we charged anybody, any politicians, anybody from the U.S. before they are publicly held accountable. Why is nobody in our government arrested and tried for those crimes yet? Instead, we go to Venezuela and arrest Maduro, which, like I said, we'll talk about that here shortly. But I just don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. Keith needs to be investigated. Yes, Karen, 100%. Keith Ellison is a crook. Like a crook, a real, genuine, just piece of garbage crook. I am absolutely, I will just publicly with you, Karen, I will publicly call and say that somebody, they need to hold, let me be careful how I word this, he needs to be held legally accountable for his actions in defrauding the American people. I am not calling for a vigilante to do anything. I am not saying that private citizens should do anything at this point, guys. But this meme sums up how the government is currently responding to this. It's diversity is our strength, followed by immigrants are the fabric of Minnesota. Oh, it was only $9 billion. And if you don't like it, or if you investigate it like Nick Shirley, you are now a racist. Yeah, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. Like if you dare to look into the fraud, the theft, the treason, if you dare to look into that, guys, you're just a racist. That's how they try and get us to shut up. You know what? I don't give a shit anymore. Apologize for the language, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry. I don't care anymore. Call me a racist. Call me a bigot. Call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care anymore. And I encourage you to not care anymore either. Guys, we need to care about the future of our country for us and our children, for their children, and the generations to come. If we allow this stuff to continue any further than it already has, for God fucking sake, again, I apologize for the language, for God's sake, guys, we just elected a fucking communist to be the mayor of one of the most powerful cities in the United States. And we have a story about that here coming up. Some of the people he's appointing in his administration are atrocious. Some of the policy stances he's taking against private investment and other things are atrociously bad for the state, city, and the country. And their police force is crumbling. Like, guys, it is not. Diversity is not our strength. Our strength comes from merit and accomplishing shit. That's it. That's the only place it comes from. Karen says it all seems to be by design as always. Yes, and you know what, Karen, to that point, even our outrage, calling for changes to the system, calling for tax exemption, calling for any of these radical changes is also by design. I think that they did this because all their objective is, guys, the objective of the left is to divide and conquer. It's to burn the system to the ground and rule over the remaining 5% of the ashes. So, yes, the initial reaction is burn it to the ground. But then you have to remember, guys, you are doing exactly what they want you to do. And I hate it. Because they've kind of got us trapped right now, guys. We either call for the system to burn down or we do nothing. And if we do nothing, they win. And if we burn the system down, they win. Look, guys, like we need to figure out a plan, and we need to start implementing the plan. We need to start running for offices. We can't let a hijab-wearing Democrat run for a Republican seat unopposed in North Carolina. Like, what the hell is happening, guys? Why is there not a patriot in North Carolina that is willing to run for that position and oppose that bullshit? Like, weak men lead to hard times. If there is no Republican running in your area, run. What are we doing letting a hijab-wearing Muslim Democrat woman run unopposed for a Republican seat in North Carolina? What the hell are we doing? Guys, it's getting out of control, and it's something that we really need to understand. It is our responsibility to fix it. Right? If your district does not have somebody running for that Republican seat, it's you. This goes back to it was something that our mentor talked to us a little bit about. But many years ago, he said this to us. If you enter a room and you look around that room and within 15 seconds you cannot identify who is in charge in that room, the answer is it is you. You need to take the ownership and lead that space. The same thing applies to the political space, guys. I think it was District 22, if I remember the story correctly, Karen. I'd have to look it back up or go back in the video. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's look at this real quick, Karen. Since you're asking, I will help you out, and we will look for it. Let me look at bookmarks. Just bear with me a second. I'll get that pulled up for you, Karen. We'll get you that answer. Oh no, don't worry about it. I don't mind taking the few minutes. It shouldn't take long because, like I said, I have all the stories for these are all bookmarked. And scrolling through bookmarks shouldn't take long when you look for the lady in a hijab. Let's see, the $2,200 sunglass. There are the glasses. Yep, got that, got that. For the love of God, arrest somebody. Yep. Yeah, guys, like in general, like it is on us to help fix this. If we allow this continue, District 22. I'll just pull that story right back up here. Don't worry about it. No worries, Carrie. You showed up a little bit after the start. I did not announce the start of this show. I just started it. So, yeah, you can see here it was District 22 in North Carolina, Karen. We need to start posting about this, guys. Repost this story. Repost it. We need to get the word out. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Karen. You're very welcome. Yeah, guys, we can't let these people run unopposed. We just can't. They're going to keep winning. And it's all because men are just being weak. Men, stop being fucking weak. Please. It's destroying everything. Stop listening to the women. Okay? If you cuck hard enough, they're not going to want you. Okay? Don't. Stop giving in to what the women say they want. They don't even know what they want. You ask them what they want, they're clueless. They tell you, I want this and that, and then you really ask them, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't really want that. I want a man who's in touch with his emotions, right? I want somebody that understands their feelings. Okay, go ask a woman, or maybe Shell in the chat can answer. What is your response when you see a man crying? Like just crying, bawling his eyes. Like it's not his dog died. It's not his father died. It's like, whatever happened, he's just losing control of his emotions and crying like a little bitch. What is your thoughts on that? I'm curious. You got this one, Aladdin. Which NGO enabled these Somalis to operate scams in the U.S.? That's the real question, guys. That's how far we need to dig. It's not just go after the daycare centers, guys. It's go after the NGOs, go after the funders of the NGOs, go after whoever it is that is funding the education on how to do this. Because there's no way that a bunch of IQ 68 people, there's no way that they all set up these elaborate schemes, guys. We saw earlier there was evidence of very large and powerful lobbying individuals and other firms that were setting some of these up. I wouldn't be surprised if you found out that half of them are funded by the Tides Foundation and George Soros. Guys, it goes way deeper than it's just the daycares. It's just the black people. Like, it's not. It's the white people. It's the black people. It's the Africans. It's the Asians. It doesn't fucking matter, guys. It's these NGOs and these global entities are just pillaging us while we struggle to pay our bills. And then you get people in power that are saying stuff just like this. Just like this, guys. Saying the quiet part out loud.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented.
Or however many undocumented. The call to legalize permanently and grant citizenship to at least 11, I would say it's not just the dreamers, guys. This is their plan for every illegal they bring here. The number's probably closer to 40 or 50 million at least 40 to 50 million. Their plan is to get them citizenship so they can vote legally. They already vote, guys. They already fucking vote. It's super annoying. The system is set up this way, guys. It is operating as designed. And then you have Stephen Miller here. It's the plan all along.
It for your audience perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions. And to give.
And the crazy part about that, guys, is they were flying people into red states and red cities in the middle of the night, not even informing the local governments, and they were dumping these illegals into red states and red areas. Do you think that is an accident? They executed the largest human trafficking ring on earth, guys. Many of which are children. So they had minors being trafficked. They had adult military-age men being trafficked. Human trafficking being facilitated directly by the federal government under the last administration, guys, to undermine your ability to vote and undermine my power of my vote, and to then set up these NGO funding schemes so that they could enrich the illegals and turn around and get kickbacks and enrich themselves and get more power themselves, guys. This is operating as designed.
Give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections.
Yep.
This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party.
Yes.
It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement.
And they are not honoring ICE detainers. That's what he's talking about right now. So they're directly facilitating the importation of people to vote. They're directly facilitating and releasing criminals back out onto the streets to make you less safe, so that they steal money from you. You got here Melissa Hortman. They love bringing up these politicians, guys, that got killed by what they claim is a MAGA supporter. Don't even get me started on that one. She was the only Democrat to vote against health care for illegals, and she was murdered by a Tim Walz appointee a few days later.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut-wrenched at this
What is that?
decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Hortman knows she let down her own caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make folks who voted for that bill feel like crap.
Or to end up dead. Guys, the political violence coming out of the left is not an accident. It's not. This woman stepped out, voted against the interests of the Democrat Party, and then was killed within days. Do you think that's an accident? Like, what is your thought about that, guys? Do we really believe that that kind of coincidence exists? Karen says, I never thought about it that way, but there was only a few 100,000 slaves brought over, and it took 200 plus years. Democrats exceeded those numbers annually. Yeah, Karen, it's pretty obnoxious and disgusting when you look at the sheer numbers that we were using our own federal assets to fly into the interior. Not only were they capturing them at the border and then releasing them into the interior, you got to understand they weren't just releasing them into California, Texas, Arizona, Nevada. Like they were putting them on airplanes, giving them plane tickets and petty cash, and they were flying them into Tennessee. They were flying them into Nebraska. They were flying them into red districts deep into the United States and just releasing them with cash, with cards, with limited papers. They're given a date to show up, and then half of those dates were just canceled, so they never have to show up, guys. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's see. Linda says, hello, everyone. Happy New Year, everyone. The madness needs to stop, and illegals need to leave. Tired of paying for them to freeload living in New York. I can tell you it's getting worse. Linda, I hope you're not in New York City, because it's about to get a lot worse there. But thank you very much for showing up, Linda. It's good to see you. Karen says that as well. Shell says, yes, I have had a great few days. Happy New Year. Hope you had a great few days as well. Always a pleasure to see you. Yes, it's good to see you in the chat, Linda. Thank you very much for showing up. But guys, this is probably, as a taxpayer, the most infuriating part. Brianna Morello here is pointing out that Somalis were able to steal billions, and it's not just the Somalis, guys. Illegals, fraudsters, whatever you want to call them, they stole untold, like right now I think the low estimate that Elon Musk has posted about on X is to estimate between $1 and $1.5 trillion a year is being wasted, either through waste or fraud. Guys, $1.5 trillion a year the government cannot account for, estimated. Meanwhile, Americans, they hired 87,000 more IRS agents from the last administration, and they were planning to stalk you for Venmo transactions in excess of $600. So I don't know how many of you guys use Venmo to pay family members back and forth, guys, but the fact that the government wants to count Venmo transactions as income, fuck you, government. Like honestly, fuck you. Because you're going to facilitate $1.5 trillion worth of fraud a year, and then you want to come after me for reimbursing my parents for something that they lent to me? It's not income for either one of us. That money was already taxed. So again, I'm sorry, like, cover your kids' ears, but U.S. government, IRS on this one, fuck you. For real. Like, get your own house in order before you come after me, bro. This is how you get normal citizens just so fucking angry. The Doge GSA, the Government Services Administration, responding to the Doge post about Nick Shirley's great work. You know, somehow I told you so doesn't quite say it, guys. The Doge GSA publicly posting that, like, look, bro, we told you. We told you so. This also is infuriating, guys. This is a Babylon Bee post, but I honestly think, and I think I posted it on this one, yeah. I think this was actually posted to the wrong account, guys. This really seems like not the Bee to me. Republicans vow to uncover all Somali fraud and then do nothing about it except fundraise. Like, I honestly think this is exactly what they're going to do. Karen says that Renault will say 2026 is going to be incredible. The future is going to be amazing. Yes, Renault, we love you. I miss seeing you around the channel, my brother. Hopefully you're doing pretty well. But guys, I think this is more accurate than the Babylon Bee gives it credit. You got this one, Gardner. This fits. GOP setting the records for the lowest bills signed and votes cast. It's like, yeah, you get out there, buddy. You get out there and you waste another majority. Like, how many of you in the audience, like, you can't raise your hand, but give me like a 1 or say yes or whatever. Anyone in the audience, how do you feel about the fact that we have the majority in the Senate, the House, we have the presidency, and the majority in the Supreme Court? Guys, there's a conservative majority in the court. So we have all branches of government, and yet somehow, we're still fucking it up. Somehow we still haven't passed any voter integrity laws. We haven't done any real legislation, like yet. The only thing that seems to be happening right now is the fact that, guys, the executive branch should not be doing everything by executive order. That's really not how things are supposed to work, guys. But when Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune won't do their fucking job, like, what else is left? Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, do your jobs. Please. The American people would love it if we started, just get rid of the filibuster and pass voter integrity laws. Pass voter ID requirements. Do something. Please. For the love of God. Linda's clapping, says it's the evil woke cult that is intercepting the good deeds. Yeah, I mean, we just need to do our part. We need our own people in the majorities to do our part for the betterment of the country. All they're doing, guys, is they're exposing the fact that they don't really care about you. Any Republican that is not pressuring Leader Thune and Speaker Johnson right now to advance legislation, like Tim Burchett, some of the good ones are out there doing it, guys. Byron Donaldson a little bit. Like, guys, some of them are doing it, but most of them aren't. If you have a Republican in your district, call them and tell them, if you are not demanding this every day until it happens, you are part of the uniparty, you are part of the problem, and you are a traitor to our country. That's it. That's the message, guys. Trump administration is suing Virginia for giving in-state tuition to illegal immigrants while Americans are paying full price. Guys, this is not new. This has been happening for decades and decades. California has been doing this since I went to college in 2001. Guys, these states absolutely need to have their funding stripped. We cannot have criminals paying a better tuition than we have our citizens paying. Like, in-state tuition is a privilege for people that live in the state that are citizens. The fact that we are giving in-state tuition to foreign invaders is stupid, but I know why they do it. They're trying to get more of them to come. They want more of them to come because then they can vote where they're at. It's all part of the plan, guys. Zohar Mamdani stuns New York by putting Ramzi Qasim, the 9/11 al-Qaeda defense lawyer, in charge as chief counsel in New York. Guys, you elected a Muslim communist as mayor, and he turns around and he appoints an al-Qaeda defense lawyer as the chief counsel for New York City, guys. Congratulations. You played yourself. You deserve everything that you're about to get. The rest of the country doesn't. Nobody should be allowed at this point. If you have not already left New York, I'm sorry, you're stuck there. They should build a wall around you. We don't want your kind. We don't want your kind. There are going to be patriots that live in New York, and this is going to upset you, and I'm sorry. I love you guys. You're a rare breed. But if you're still there while this is going on, just stay there until it's over. Please. Like, there might be one or two of you I'll make exceptions for, okay? Like, I'll make some exceptions. But for the most part, as that city starts to crumble and is a disaster, I don't want them to infect the rest of the country like cancer. This is like going to a cyst with a needle or a knife and poking it and rupturing it inside and causing some sort of a, what do they call it? Like a systemic infection, getting septic. Like this, they're about to become a septic infection for the United States. When this bullshit spreads to the rest of the country, guys, it's going to get so bad. 100 police officers have already quit or retired, guys, in 2025. They elected a mayor and everyone said, no. Guys, if you're a white police officer, if you're a white firefighter in New York, get out now before it's too late. They hate you. They don't want you. We have this. Senator Kennedy, our favorite. Let me check the messages before I play this. Linda, you're one of the exceptions. I'll make an exception, Linda, if you want to leave. Oh, God, lots of comments. Okay, 100%. Evil will call 100%. We need to step up. Yes, we absolutely need to step up, Linda. Shell agrees. Says it means the true in-state rates would be significantly lower. That's true, Karen, because we're subsidizing criminal aliens getting in-state tuition. If we stop doing that, in-state citizens could get an even better rate. You're 100% right. That should upset every person going to a college right now. Linda says, Mamdani is not my mayor, the devil in sheepskin. Can we just put him in pigskin instead, Linda? Can we just put him in pigskin instead? I think that's a better solution. That he was not voted in, he was placed in to destroy the financial capital of the world, Dad. Hey, I don't disagree with you. It's going to get so bad, though. They put a communist in charge of the financial hub of the United States. Like, that's wild to me. You're going to see Wall Street move. Like, it is my prediction, and I've seen other people predict it, so I'm not going to take sole credit. I'm not going to take sole credit. I won't. But it is my prediction that Wall Street will move. It'll move to Florida. It's going to move somewhere else that is more patriotic, and New York is going to be fucked. They're going to lose everything. Said on the ground, okay, I'll tell you, on the ground, many of the civil servants are leaving. Yes, I've even seen the posts that look like the police officers had just, at midnight on New Year's, they had just abandoned their equipment in the street. I didn't see any like confirmation on the timestamps on those videos, but if that's true, if these people are walking off the job come midnight on New Year's, that's wild, guys. It's going to get so much less safe. Think about this. It's a police force of 10,000 plus, right? 3,500. So 35% of the police force walked off the job in the last year. It's crazy. Karen says Miami's already becoming the new Wall Street. Good. 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 Put a communist in charge of the capitalist hub. Good. They don't deserve it. All of the benefits that come from being in Wall Street, guys, you're going to lose all of them, New York City. I'm sorry for the good people that are still there. That sucks. But that city is fucked. Like, ask Shell how Detroit looks right now after Democrat leadership. And that was just chasing out the auto industry. Imagine chasing out fucking Wall Street and the fashion district, guys. Those things are going to leave. Communists aren't going to support that. Those are all going to go away. Private real estate investment is gone in New York now. He is being hostile to individual real estate investors like myself. I would never want to have exposure in a city like New York now with a communist who's prioritized. If I want to sell my property, who says I have to give an NGO a crack at it for some period of time before and take whatever amount they're willing to give me that is considered a fair value, fuck that. Like, really. Like, and again, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry about the language of this episode, but I am mad. I am so mad. Like, F the communists, guys. Your rent control schemes, you're going to get zero private investment. All of your commercial buildings are going to, again, they're going to be owned by Fidelity. They're going to be owned by State Street. They're going to be owned by BlackRock. Like, your entire city is going to be owned by equity firms, and it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster.
I feel great sympathy for the people of Venezuela. I feel no sympathy for the Venezuelan government led.
Crazy is this was posted on December 30th, guys. The morning of the 3rd, we attacked and within an hour totally neutralized the country and arrested Maduro. Within 3 days, guys.
By Nicolas Maduro. And those who do have sympathy for Maduro, I suspect some of my colleagues do, they shouldn't be driving. They ought to ask for their money back on their GED. Karma's going to eat them someday.
Well, that day might already have happened.
Look,
so the video they're playing in the side there, you can see they were talking about the oil tankers that we have been repossessing, essentially. Well,
the Venezuelan government is not a dictatorship. It's a criminal organization.
And it's a drug kingpin criminal organization. So we've been fighting a war on drugs. I'm going to do a video about that. It might have to wait until I get back to my parents' home on the 5th. It might have to wait until then. Because tonight is going to be a long night. I have an early start tomorrow. And then these next 2 days for the event that I'm here for are very, very busy. I may not have the actual time to shoot a video, but I plan on doing a video about the war on drugs. That Trump is the only president in the entire history of the war on drugs to actually execute the war on drugs. And we saw that early this morning. And we've got that story. Guys, President Trump ordered airstrikes on facilities all throughout Venezuela, completely overwhelming the country within minutes. 0 reports of return fire. There was some, but we had zero fatalities. We had 0 aviation assets not returned to base. There was a couple of helicopters that reportedly got shot up pretty good, but 0 aviation assets lost, 0 U.S. soldier lives lost. Meanwhile, the entire apparatus, the air defense infrastructure, the ability for that country to conduct war evaporated. Guys, like literally evaporated. So this is General Raisin Kane. We're going to just watch this clip real quick.
Known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal. We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years.
And then real quick, before we continue, it is a lengthy video. I do plan on playing the majority of it, so just bear with me. But I want to read some of these comments because I didn't notice. Again, I only have one screen right now. Texas is a financial city, but not the capital. Okay, Texas. Texas would be a good place, too. St. Louis still looks like a war zone 40 years after they filmed Escape from New York here. Well, pretty soon they could film the sequel in New York. Fashion already left, says Linda. Detroit sucks, says Shell. Correct, Linda. New York City already became the city of 2 classes. You're either wealthy or working poor. I would argue you're probably just working, you're wealthy or just poor. Love Senator Kennedy. Yep, many of the cities are becoming the third world countries, and this kills me. Woke warped. I love Kennedy. People are with these mistyped, came out crooked. Yep. The poor are trapped and the rich are losing, and many of them are leaving. It's true. The poor people have a very hard time paying to move. They're kind of trapped. It's not a good situation, guys. Communism sucks. It really does. But you know what? It's okay.
This was an audacious operation.
Yes, it was.
That only the United States could do.
That's probably
it
true.
It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose, to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation.
Okay, we don't need to watch that whole thing, guys, but over 150 aviation assets. Over 150 aviation assets, closely coordinated, kept secret. Guys, we kind of had an idea, right? They put an aircraft carrier, an entire battle group has been down there. There's been many shifts of aviation assets south towards Venezuela, guys. It's not a complete surprise that this occurred. Now, the timing of it was a little surprising. I don't think anyone expected that it was going to be Saturday morning at 2 a.m. on the West Coast. But guys, they did it. They went in. They just wreaked havoc. They arrested Maduro and his wife. They left. There are photos of him on the USS Iwo Jima. They did what they wanted to do, guys. A lot of people are upset. They're like, oh, we're at war with Venezuela now. No, we're not. Guys, you don't know what a war is if you think we're now at war with Venezuela. That's over. Like, Venezuela was over in an hour and a half. Like, that's it. It's not an ongoing conflict, guys. The leader is gone from the country, now being tried in federal court in the United States. The people are in the streets. Many of them are reportedly very happy. Many Venezuelans here in the United States are very happy. They want to go back home. And you know what? I hope you do. I hope you go back to your own country and make it great. Now that the communist is gone, go there. Make it wonderful. You have all of the natural resources to have a very good country. Go do it. I highly encourage, go do it. Taiwan deploys U.S.-made tanks as China surrounds the island with missiles, warships, and fighter jets. Guys, before this morning, when I pulled this story back on the 30th, I was going to say, I bet China is going to push into Taiwan very, very soon. There is an escalation occurring there. We're selling weapons directly to them. China's upset about it. I don't think China believed that we would react. I think they might have a different opinion after this morning. Guys, it just shows, and I saw a post to this effect on X in my comments. The fact that we were able to execute this and just obliterate the defenses of Venezuela in an hour really kind of goes to show you the war on terror that dragged on for 2 decades and more was just an excuse to continue to churn the military-industrial complex. I believe, my opinion, and you can let me know if you agree with me or not, it is my opinion that we could have finished that war on terror very quickly. Overwhelming force that we could have done it and been done. Instead, we spent decades there, spending trillions of dollars, supported Taliban, like they're in charge in Afghanistan now. They're in charge of the natural resources of Afghanistan. We continue to send them cash payments because, again, Leader Thune and Speaker Johnson are retarded, and they are not good leaders. They are undermining what is in the best interest of the U.S. I think we could have ended the war on terror very quickly. We didn't. I don't think we wanted to. I think it was an excuse to continue to print money and funnel it to the friends of the people in charge. I think that we're going to see a lot about that. I think we're going to see a whole lot about that. Guys, where it is just going to be one excuse or another for people to raid the federal treasury, to send the money to their friends, to accumulate more power. That is a consistent theme that I have seen. Most all of these scandals over the last few decades have all accomplished that same end goal. All of them. Every single one of them, guys. So like I said, in the next few days, I will be posting a video. I'm going to do a brief discussion. I'll have limited graphics because of me being on the road, guys. But I'm going to do a video about the war on drugs, probably the war on terror. I probably should just do a war on series. What do you guys think? Let me know if that sounds interesting to you. I could do a video. The war on drugs. We have the war on terror. We have the war on homelessness. There are so many things that we have been at war with that have been disastrous, guys. California's war on homelessness has costed tens of billions of dollars, and they have more homeless people today than ever before. Linda says, I'm happy that you're helping us talking about this. What's happening in this country is sickening. The world is rebelling. Look at Germany, London, Italy are following President Trump. Love my president. He talks and walks with a stern, bold force. God is with him. Fight the evil. Amen, Linda. Amen. Terror, more than 20 years. Trump talked about doing it in his early 30s. Now he's the only president taking care of America and Americans. Yes, thank you, Patriot. Nope. There you go. Repost the live, everyone. Yes, please. If you get an opportunity, please repost the live stream out to everybody. I don't know what our viewer numbers are. I just appreciate each and every one of you that are showing up. I do appreciate it. I love each and every one of you guys in my audience that is here routinely. Guys, you make this worth doing. I appreciate it. Most of my other action and activities on X, I have slowed considerably because the algorithm is just not favoring it. It's just not fun. There's no reward in it. So we're going to move on and go to science and tech. I'm done talking about crime and the government. I'm done with some of this. We still have more culture section stories that are also still going to be upsetting, guys. I'm sorry. That's not done yet. Maybe I should move the culture section in front of science and tech so that we can get all that shit out the way. Well, let me know if I should reorganize that and what your thoughts are. But this one, guys, another 6 Raptor 2 engines rolling towards the scrapyard. This is why, because Raptor 2 is not compatible with the new version of the booster. They have to only use Raptor 3s now, so all of the inventory they had of Raptor 2, scrap. Scrap. But it's okay. Cost of development, guys. SpaceX, congratulations to the entire team, guys. They did 165 Falcon launches in 2025, guys. 165. That is almost one every 2 days. There are 365 days in the year. 165 times 2 would be 330. So we're just a hair over a launch every 2 days. That is wild, guys. They did 5 Starship flight tests, all continuing to pave the way to making life multiplanetary, guys. The rate at which SpaceX is doing business and the cost at which they do it is so insane at the scale. Like, Elon is the richest person on Earth for a reason, guys. His companies are doing revolutionary work. You got here Mario. SpaceX embarrasses California Rail. $2.7 billion takes us to space. $15.7 billion built, no completed track segments. Like, there are some sections that are partially built, but 0 fully completed segments of the high-speed rail system, $15.7 billion. SpaceX built Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and Dragon for $2.7 billion. That was the development cost, guys. $2.7 billion. And it got us access to space for America again. It got us heavy launch capability to space until Starship would be active, so Falcon Heavy. And with Crew Dragon, we got people access back to the International Space Station without having to rely on Russia. Everybody that says Russia is bad, Russia is evil, Russia sucks, whatever. They should have been ecstatic is SpaceX developing this? Because we used to have to pay Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, a lot of money for a seat to get one of our astronauts to the International Space Station. Why would Democrats take the shuttle out of service and shift all of our funding to Russia to then turn around and say, Russia's bad? I don't believe you in government anymore. I don't. You say Russia's bad and then you give them all of your money. Europe is saying Russia is bad, and then where does Germany get its natural gas from? Guys, don't believe the shit you're being told in the mainstream media. It's mostly lies. Guys, California bills burned through $15.7 billion. The government gigs like the rail run at cost plus. Those kinds of contracts are inefficient, guys. So we have incomplete segments of the high-speed rail, or we have an entire space program for, what, 1/6 of the cost? Elon out there doing the Lord's work. Let's see, we got 45 in the stream for the stream. 47. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Love the children. Yes, thank you very much, Linda. The kids are great. They're with my parents while I am on my trip. So thank you very much to Mom and Dad for making sure they are well taken care of. And to kids, you're wonderful. I love you. I apologize for all the profanity today. Your dad is very upset. But that's okay. We're going to formulate a plan. We're going to move forward. Space is absolutely fascinating. Elon is an amazing man, written in the history books already. Yeah. Look at the Neuralink Neuropod, how advanced in medical technology. Tesla and the robots and the spaceships, all is planned. And don't forget, the Boring Company continues to innovate and make boring better. You have all of the robots that you already mentioned, Tesla. Like, everything is so crazy. Everything is so crazy, guys. That everything Elon touches turns to gold. Starlink and its capabilities to, facilitate when ground infrastructure is being destroyed due to conflict. Starlink, direct to Starlink telephones, guys. You now, if you have T-Mobile, you can now with your cell phone direct to Starlink, make phone calls, send messages, do whatever you need to do. Government didn't do that. SpaceX did that. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yes, thank you, Mom and Dad. Yes, thank you, Linda. I agree. This post by Scott Manley flew over a pool which was the result of a nuclear power station built which was abandoned in the 70s. The biggest funding sources for anti-nuclear groups, guys, who do you think it was? Do you think it was the environmentalists? No. It was the fossil fuel industry, guys. Why? Well, because it would be directly competing. Think about this. If you are the fossil fuel industry and you own coal mines, you own coal power plants, if you own natural gas wells, if you own gas pipelines, if you're running a gas power plant, what is the biggest threat to you? It's nuclear power, guys. The nuclear power has been sabotaged by the fossil fuel industry, guys. It's absolutely stupid. We need to totally support nuclear power 100%. I even saw a story today while I was eating lunch on the TV that said on Fox or one of the mainstream media channels where they were talking about nuclear microgrids to help power data centers. We talked about that on the channel weeks ago, guys. Yes, it makes the most sense. Stop taxing the grid. Stop making the normal ratepayers pay for it. If you want to run a data center, how about you just build a nuclear microgrid? You operate that microgrid, and you pay to produce and consume the electricity that you need for your data centers. It's the best answer in the short term. We need to be fast-tracking permits for these small modular reactors like NuScale and others, guys. It's the only answer that makes any sense. It's the only answer that makes sense right now, guys. This one from Mario, now we're talking about rocketry again. I probably could have reversed these two stories. That's fine. While the world is busy counting down with champagne for New Year's, the government lit something far brighter. The Department of Energy and NASA made it official. Nuclear thermal propulsion is no longer a science project. This is the moment that chemical rockets start to look like steam. So, okay, this I have a disagreement with Mario. Traditional nuclear thermal rockets do not have high thrust to weight ratios. They are not good at heavy lifting. They do not produce a lot of thrust. They produce a little bit less thrust, but they produce it extremely efficiently, which means they're very good for propulsion when the thing is already in space. So if you look at nuclear thermal rockets, would be much better as a second or even a third stage engine. They're not going to be a good use for a first stage engine, guys. They're not. Like, they're just not. I don't want a nuclear powered booster that's going to crash into the ocean. Like, okay. Maybe we'll do another video on this also, guys, but there is a little bit in this post that is not true. Cheats physics. Well, liquid hydrogen gets blasted through a nuclear reactor, uranium atom split, heat explodes outward. See, these use of these words, I don't like it in this post, guys, but I like the overall idea. There's no combustion. That's true. No oxidizer, just raw nuclear turning heat into thrust. That's right. You're just converting hydrogen directly into extremely hot hydrogen gas, doing it in a small nuclear reactor. No oxidizer. So if you think about it, if all of the weight is carried is fuel, you can carry so much more fuel. Most of the weight, like I think it's like 2/3 of the weight on a rocket. Someone can fact check me, but I think the majority of the weight on a normal, even a methalox rocket, is the liquid oxygen. It's heavier than the carbon and hydrogen. So not having oxidizer, wonderful weight savings. Gives you more room to carry more fuel. Perfect. No combustion, that is true. Very high efficiencies, true. High thrust, no, not usually. Not traditionally with a nuclear thermal rocket, but that's okay. But these long, sustained missions absolutely are made possible with a nuclear thermal rocket, guys. So, love to see that we are pushing into this realm. It's wonderful. I want to see more of it. But then we're going to get into culture, guys. Data Republican with this post about autism, guys, is the autism. What if autism diagnoses were partially from fraudulent billing? Then she poked around a little bit, and it turns out that the 1 in 30 statistic isn't based on official diagnoses at all. ADDM has clinicians review school records, and if the record fits, it counts as autism, even if there was no medical diagnosis, guys. So we are counting people as autistic without even having a diagnosis. They're just looking at documentation. Oh, the guy was disruptive in class. That means I'm autistic, per these statistics. Ever since like the second grade, on every report card I ever had, disruptive in class, talks too much in class, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not autistic, though. Like, I'm not diagnosable. So the fact that the diagnoses are being skewed, but then they're using the statistic to justify an increase in these centers and an increase in research and an increase in grant funding for autism because of an increase in diagnoses that are not even diagnoses. Then we found out, and this is in culture because it has to do with the trans stuff, and that's the only place I can think to put it, more of the manifesto for Audrey Hale, the trans killer from the Christian school, I believe this was in Nashville, came out. And what came out? It basically came out that it was a pro and con list for the different schools that it was considering targeting. And if you look at disadvantage, black people that she loves, or that it loves, Covenant School. So, thought about going to Cheswell Middle School. First choice, draft. But there's black people. It's a predominant black school. So, I love those people. So instead, Covenant School, alternative target, second choice, advantages. White people I hate. This is a mental disease, guys. As Maurice here points out, nothing like programming a woman to hate herself God and all other white people, and then convincing her that all the hatred she's feeling is actually because she's a boy, then pumping her full of testosterone and letting her loose on society. Good job. Guys, it is absolutely a mental disease. It absolutely needs more attention. We need to make asylums great again. This clip also, guys, very infuriating. Thank you, Karen, for posting this so that I could see it. I'm only going to play a short segment of it. It is a 6-minute video. I highly encourage you to go watch it, guys. But this is a pediatrician. Just listen to what she has to say.
Parents and the public have been deceived into believing that these assessments are diagnostic, that they're consistent, that they're comprehensive, and that no child is ever receiving treatment without one. If the assessment met the criteria of consistent, comprehensive, and diagnostic, the diagnostic provider should be able to easily produce their assessment tools, give them to the FTC to be analyzed, and they should also be universally consistent across all of our states. This has never happened. And they have not shared any data to show what percentage of those presented are being told no, because this is not happening. I personally witnessed the consequences of prescribing these treatments.
They don't report how many say no because it's just not happening. Again, this is a pediatrician, guys. This is a pediatrician telling us this information. We should probably listen. She's one of their experts, right? They always tell you, listen to the people with the PhDs. Listen to the people that are the experts in the field. This is one of them.
Treatments without proper informed consent. One of my patients, after her radical bilateral mastectomy at 19, called begging for her breasts to be put back on. This harm has not been contained to children or minors. Another patient's intellectual function was so impaired that they could not identify to me where they lived or explained what type of identification they possessed. Multiple staff members expressed concern about their ability to consent to any medical procedure. Despite these and similar red flags with many patients, this patient even stated that they desired to have biological children, yet they were prescribed a treatment that would ultimately render them sterile for life.
They told their doctor they wanted to have biological children, and the doctors sterilized them. Guys, a third of our generation, for Gen Z and earlier, has already been aborted. A third. And then the ones that did get born, guys, they're sterilizing as many as they can. They're confusing as many as they can, guys. This is a crisis. This is an absolute disaster. There needs to be Nuremberg-style trials for the just disgusting conduct that has been perpetrated against our youth, against our people. Guys, it is so insane to me. So insane. So insane. Oh. Linda says it's about the money. Guys, you got to remember, pharma, customer whenever they do this. Mental illness is encouraged, yeah. How are they they're doctors? Because big pharma pays them to do this. The same big pharma, guys, we were just talking about this in our mastermind group upstairs. Who primarily funds the mainstream media? The answer is big pharma. Big pharma does not directly sell things based on the ads that they run on news. Almost never is there a medication commercial where it's like, get this medication, possible side effects, anal bleeding, death, psychosis, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Like they just list this weird name. It just says ask your doctor. It doesn't even tell you what it's for. Oh, are you feeling down today? Ask your doctor. And then it turns out that it's like a medication for menopausal women. It's like, it makes zero sense, guys. They are not directly marketing. What they're doing is they are the primary funder of the mainstream media. Without pharma, the mainstream media doesn't exist anymore. So what does that buy the pharmaceutical companies if it is not selling product? It is my opinion that pharma is funding news so that the news cannot talk about stories that are detrimental to pharma. That's why you don't see news articles and mainstream media talking about this trans stuff. Why? Because every time they trans a kid, they get a customer for life. Pharma wants this. Sick what they've done to the children. I agree. Leave the children alone. Yeah. Karen says, I knew you'd like the clip. Yes, thank you, Karen. My blood pressure is a little bit higher now. But yes, thank you for posting that one. MK, hello. Good to see you. Also, Linda says, major money, major power, sad world. Guys, you got to remember, money is money is a tool. Power is what they want. Power is what man has always wanted more of. And if it's done without a moral structure or framework, guys, unchecked hunger for power is one of the most destructive forces on earth. There is almost no other, guys. This is a joke about Mamdani talking about the warmth of collectivism. This is a satellite picture of North Korea versus South Korea, guys. South Korea, right up to the DMZ, very well lit. Seoul, very bright from space. The only light in North Korea at night is almost entirely in Pyongyang, and it's not even that bright. So you tell me the warmth of collectivism here with communism in North Korea and why we should want more of it. Then you get this stuff, guys. Community notes and violations. This is hilarious. I wanted to explore vegan options at seafood restaurants. These morons vote, guys. I went to Jimmy's Seafood, and when I asked for vegan options, they thought I was joking, as they should. They should ridicule the shit out of you if you go to a seafood restaurant asking for vegan options. It's a seafood restaurant. When you do things that are ridiculous, you should be ridiculed. Ridicule, by definition, is something that is deserved. Being ridiculous is being deserved of ridicule. That's it. When I told them I was not joking, they then insulted me. Jimmy's Seafood literally insulted me for asking if they had vegan options, to which Jimmy's Seafood responded to their post, we'd insult you on here too, but you'd get real upset and forget to take your estrogen pills. Based Jimmy's Seafood, like, yikes. Outlaw Patriot, this one, guys. One last Franklin meme. I do love these things, but Franklin starts a daycare because it turns out that is the most profitable thing to do in the 2020s. This one's good, guys. Planet of Memes. The Quality Learning Center, this kid's trying to get in by pushing, implying they can't read, probably because they're attending the Learning Centers. Guys, the fraud memes are so good in the last week or so. They're so good. And then this one, Aladdin. I love this app. I saw this meme also. Nick Shirley giving the old KO hook to Tim Walz with his Catterday tattoos. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and we are going to we're gonna be dropping YouTube here in just a second. We're gonna move over to X, not Rumble. I apologize, Rumble's not up because of a administrative error on my part. But guys, we're gonna do the last two stories, last two or three things we're gonna do just here on X. So go ahead and head on over to X. I appreciate all of your support on YouTube. Go ahead and check out the profile. Go to patriotdad.org. You can get the different ways to support me. You can leave me a direct tip here on X. You can buy me a coffee. That link is over on patriotdad.org. You can buy merch. There's more merch now on the merch store. We're getting a Tree of Liberty shirt design up there, hopefully very soon. Guys, check it out. Check out the Patriot Dad family community as well. We started our calisthenics 90-day workout challenge. Started that yesterday. We're doing that 3 or 4 days a week, depending on what the program calls for. I will be posting the updated 31 to 60 days here in a little bit. But this is a program that I already started yesterday, so go ahead and check it out. Join the family community. Join our calisthenics 90-day challenge. See if we can get healthier as a community. It's a wonderful idea. I love it. But guys, we are going to go ahead and be turning off YouTube, so thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Go to X.